What's going on, guys? Kivox and Meekachii here. We are going to be doing our wrap up basically for the year. We're going to talk about the books that we read this month and also our favorite books and probably our least favorite books. I don't want to dwell too much on our least favorite books. Books are subjective. Some are not, but do you agree?
What do you mean?
Some are just bad. It's not like a hey, this is my opinion. Some are just like, but I don't know. I don't feel like I read any of those this year. How about you?
No, I didn't dead DNF anything. Those are my dead DNFs, like the ones that are written bad and are bad. So I didn't read any like that. December was kind of a crap show. You didn't finish anything. Spoilers. Not even the book club book.
Well, okay, you act like it's like you didn't tell me to not read it. I was reading it and I wasn't really enjoying it. You got way further than me, and then you were like,
don't finish it.
And I was like, okay, that's all I need to know. And you know, I tend to avoid a lot of bad books because of you, which is good.
I force myself to finish them.
But on the other side of the spectrum, I also tend to read a lot of crappy books because of you.
It's true. But you read some unexpectedly good books because of me.
Nah,
like
I expect them to be good.
My Plain Jane. Or
I didn't expect it to be bad.
Carry On.
I didn't expect it to be bad. It sounded cool. It sounded like a cool, like, magic school.
Okay, Meek.
Granted,
okay.
Carry On did not end well.
No, come on.
So I'm just saying.
December. It was a struggle. Basically, I would say 3 weeks out of the month, I was finishing the book club book. And then the last week, I finished the last 2 books that I was supposed to read. And literally within the last, 3 days, I finished the final book.
And literally within the last 30 minutes, you finished one of the books.
It was a struggle, guys. Like, I really did not like anything I read this month. So I'm kind of getting into a slump, which really sucks. So I hope I can shake out of it.
Don't worry. I'll shake it out of you. Just go. Yeah, let's do that one. Beautiful looking book. Like, this is a beautiful cover. There's so much niceness to this. Like look at this.
Well, this is a 10th anniversary edition.
Yeah, which is, look at that. It has like nice print on the inside as well. It has like stuff on the what are these called? End pages. And it's just like, oh, it's a beautiful book. But it just wasn't for us. I don't think it's written badly. No. I think it's just, this is one of the ones this was our book for
the book club.
The book club.
So I think where it killed it for me was it was way too detail oriented in places I didn't really care about.
There was a lot of politics as well. And it's like, I feel like a lot of the politics, it takes until like halfway through the book to understand any of it. Well, because at the beginning, it's like, you're like, what? Mars? What? What's like the Belters?
Doesn't really, it's very hard to understand what's going on.
Dude, the first hour, I thought we were following the same people. Like, obviously I knew that the very beginning was different people, but then it jumped around like 2 or 3 different groups. I didn't know. I still don't know any of their names.
So I liked the beginning. I really did. Like, I liked learning about I think it's Holden and Miller, the 2 main guys are talking about. I liked learning about the mystery of what happened to this chick. But then as you started going and figuring it out, I just felt like there were a few pivotal moments that were like, oh dang, okay. They were too far
and in between.
Yeah. From each other, and way too much detail and density in the middle, in between, and just, I think you're right, just politics. And I don't mind politics in book, but I think I can't talk.
So nothing's changed.
I don't mind politics in books, but I think this took it to a different level that's too much for me. It was okay. I didn't I completely forgot the ending when we did the book club, even though I'd finished it a week prior when we did the book club book club live stream. I just completely forgot what happened at the end, and then they told me and I was like, really? That happened? Okay.
But that's like a thing. We tend to forget the very ending of books.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I do. But I didn't love it, unfortunately. Boom. And you DNF'd it. So here's your DNF bookie.
I made these book boards, and this is where we put our votey book. What? Am I speaking English? All right, what'd you give it? Here, I'll lift it up so you could put it at the bottom. We have stars at the top, and it goes all the way down to 1 from 5. What are you doing, dude?
Probably a 3.
Okay. I'll allow it. You can see hers is filled up pretty well. It's pretty good.
I think I reached my goal. I think my goal was 50. And with my DNFs, I'm definitely at 50. I don't know exactly how many.
All right. You can see mine is not as full. And at least I get to add one to this month.
Add one. It's a DNF. It's not a book.
It's still on my board. I get to stick a sticker on there, okay? I get to pop a little... Oh, I have a dead DNF.
Oh, yeah. We could talk about that later.
I don't even remember that book. I don't remember what happened at all. Oh, I remember. Wait. Yeah. She pretended to be a boy for a while, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I just want to make sure I knew which one it was. She was like Mulan, but not as good. Mm-hmm. All right. So next is it's all yours.
We can quickly talk about the January book club pick.
Oh yeah, book club.
Super excited about, which is My Contrary Mary. We've read all these books. This is the last one that's out right now, and we love it, or we love this series. I'm hoping I love this book. But this one is when? January what?
I gave it a 5. The last one.
Calamity
Jane.
We both did.
5.
You do have to go into this. I've said this a bunch of times now. But you have to go into this realizing that it's not like the best written book on the planet.
Well, no, it's written very well.
Yeah,
come on, don't give them some credit.
I'm sorry.
It's written very well, but it's not the story is not an epic. Don't go into it expecting some crazy epic thing. It's all about character building, I think, and all about character interactions with each other, and that's like it's like a good sitcom or something that is just like fun, right? It's just like you enjoy whenever the characters are interacting with each other. It's like, this is so much fun.
I absolutely didn't mean to say that because I think these books are actually written very well. I know. Because like it's written by 3 authors and you would never know that it's written by 3 different people. And I just love the characters and the character development. That's what makes these books great. Yep. You have to go in knowing that the story is silly, that they rip history apart, that it's not supposed to be serious.
And there's always a intro to that. They always explain like, hey, just so you guys know, this isn't serious. We're gonna change some stuff. Are you looking for the quote that they...
For the people who feel like they have to be perfect, no. Do they say that?
They usually do. There's usually...
You may think you know the story. All right, we know. We just had to get it out of the way. But now, blah, blah, blah. I just love the humor in this. Like, I legit laugh while reading these books. Yeah. I think they're great.
Cackle, Meek. Come on. Let's get it right. I'll be sleeping and I just hear a witch's cackle in the distance. And I'm like, oh, she must be reading a Janie book.
Or watching YouTube and you hating me for it.
Well, if you were reading a book, at least I would approve of it. If you're watching a YouTube video that's cackling.
Daughter of Smoke and Bone. This was my wrapped book.
Is that the one you just finished or was it the other one?
I finished it, like a week ago. Okay. A week ago.
What?
I said it weird. Jessica Rose and Christy recommended this. It was all right. It wasn't great. It was definitely... So obviously everyone at this point knows that this is the author of...
Just look on the book. It's probably written on the book.
No. You know it. The moths...
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't feel very good.
I haven't read any moth books.
Yes, you have. Strange the Dreamer.
Oh, you love Did you read the second one yet?
Yeah.
Thank God. Because you had that book for like 8 months or a year before you freaking read it. I was so surprised. Was it good? Because I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, it was good.
All right.
So this book, you can absolutely tell that this was written in the age of post-Twilight fandom stuff. Like, it has a lot of Twilight feels except different. a lot of those tropes. I don't know. It was written well, but it was definitely very young compared to Stranger Dreamer. Like Stranger Dreamer, I just felt like the writing was just on a whole different level.
Okay, so I'm gonna just pick at this based on what you're saying. Could you say that it was more immature?
Absolutely.
There we go. Like I agree. Stranger Dreamer felt very mature and felt very like thought out. I haven't read this, so I don't know. I'm just going by what you're.
Very typical YA.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is based on me liking Laini Taylor as an author, that I kind of liked this a bit more than typical YA books, or it was actually written a little better. The story itself was interesting. Like what was happening was interesting. The characters were kind of cliche, and definitely a lot of the plot points were cliche. But I enjoyed it. I liked it. I would say originally I was probably thinking a 3.5. I'll have to look at my board. My board. Every time I say that word now, I think of...
Me too. You said it, and I was just like, she said bored. So that's what it is. He says bored.
Basically.
Bored.
Yeah.
Every time I was trying to do the accent, I was asking you guys, like, am I supposed to say Boyd? Boyd. I sound like Elmer Fudd. What the hell? And you guys are like, oh, you're doing it wrong. And I'm like, you could have just literally, now I know, you could have just told me to say bored. Bored.
There you go.
This isn't mine. Yours is right there.
Oh, shoot.
This isn't yours, I mean.
Wait, I can't. What am I going to give it, Meek?
3. You want a 3 or a 3.5 or a 2.5?
Probably a 3.
Let's see where you put this. Okay, so the whole point of me putting this space here is so you can fit books there.
Oh, shoot.
Just so you know, because it's underneath it, you know. I just figured you could put books there, but that's just me.
Oopsies.
Whoopsie.
So let's talk about Sunreach.
What's that? Oh, the Sunless Citadel?
What?
The Sunless Citadel. That's a
Sunreach by Brandon
D&D
Sanderson.
thing.
Even though this is like a short story, it's like freaking
It's
7
a full
hours.
book, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
I really liked it.
What are you holding it up so,
Yeah,
so people can see that? Here, guys. I read this book. Look at it. This is the one I read.
So I really liked it. I don't know if
that was so funny. My veins popped out of my forehead. That's how you know someone's funny.
I lost my train of thought. So I really liked Skyward. The second one, what was it called? I don't freaking remember. I didn't like as much. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the way the story was going. You dropped my book. I didn't love where the plot went. This one, I liked it a lot. It went back to, I don't want to say it actually.
Okay, yeah, you can't really say much. But it went back? Did it go back?
A little bit,
okay,
yeah.
Good.
So, and the things that they were talking about and trying to do in this book, I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. So I really enjoyed this one. And I do have the second short story before I can read Cytonic still. So I'm hoping I can read that soon.
I love Brandon Sanderson, but like
this one's written by...
Sometimes he writes faster than I can read.
Yeah.
You know, which is ridiculous. It's like, what the hell, man? Stop writing so fast.
And Jancy Patterson wrote this.
Which is like great because like that's what you want from an author, man.
I didn't even know. Like apparently I missed the memo on that because I was just reading it and it was written well enough where I thought it was just Brandon Sanderson writing it. Some people complain about this saying that it's written too YA for them, but I'm like, to me, it literally felt like I was reading the first book again.
I feel like Brandon Sanderson made some sort of deal
with the devil,
with some sort of demonic creature,
the book writing gods.
Yeah, to just have the ability to write so many books. It's just like there's literally no one else out there like that. Like there's no one else that writes books like that.
Not in this day and age.
Not ever. You really want to read those old timey books? Come on now.
What am I going to give this? I'd say this is a solid 4.5.
Damn, dog.
I really, really enjoyed it. I liked my whole time reading
You must always show the book on the board. The board.
Then the
I can't say that word now, Meek.
By the way, I'm super excited that we found these straws.
Oh yeah, these are like
Biodegradable
straws.
100% biodegradable within 60 days, I think. Pretty dope. Because as you know, if you watch us, we use a lot of straws, and I kind of felt guilty about
And
it. But
we've
I've
tried paper straws,
and they're awful.
It feels like you're drinking out of a lunch bag, like a cardboard.
Yeah.
Cardboard. I said it again.
We've also tried like metal straws, but I can't stand the feeling of metal like straw in my mouth.
I also like bite it. I bite it with my
like,
teeth. You can't do that with you. Imagine you do that and you hit your
I
teeth.
just hate the sound.
Dude, imagine you hit your teeth with it.
Yeah,
like that.
This straw just feels like a matte plastic straw.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's matte, but like it feels like a plastic straw, and it's not. It's really cool.
Anyway, that was our rant about straws. We'll put a link to it down below.
No sponsorship.
We'll put a link to it down below. It's an affiliate link. So if you guys want to pick up your own straws, you can help out the channel.
They're a bit expensive, but they're not that much more expensive than a plastic straw.
Well, the plastic straws used to be like $6.
They used to be really cheap, and now they're like $15 for 300.
Jesus,
These were like $20 for 300.
Just go to like go to Dunkin' Donuts, Burger King, McDonald's, and just steal a bunch of straws.
No,
don't do that.
I heard that Dunkin' Donuts has these straws.
Oh no,
not here in Connecticut, but like
California.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
somewhere has them. So I'm like,
good.
Okay, straw company, okay. This is the book that killed me.
Blood hair,
dude. I wanted to DNF this so bad.
Look, you can see her hair's all bloody.
Yeah.
It's hanging. It's really long, too.
I really wanted to DNF this, but I liked the beginning quite a bit, and then it just got so stereotypical, very YA, just there was nothing that you couldn't predict that was going to happen in here, and it was just very like, all right, go with the flow. Like, I would much rather just watch like an hour and a half long movie with this plot than subject myself to 400 pages of book. I never listened to books at a fast pace because I miss stuff, and I had this up at like 2.2 times speed, which for me, I think that's the highest speed I've ever listened to a book, because I was trying so hard to just finish it, and the ending was kind of dumb.
So to me, just jumping back onto that speed train, you see what I did there? That bullet train, get it? I usually, like if it's a slower narrator, it reads a little bit slower, I can usually get up to 2. But on a regular basis, I cap out at 1.5 to 1.75 or something, or 1.7,
yeah.
depending on the book and how complex it is. If it's Brandon Sanderson, 1.5 usually, because there's just so much going on, and if you miss 10 seconds of it at 1.5, you're like, wait, where am I? What happened? Not that it's written badly, it's just because it's just like it's so dense, and it's so long. So it's like you want to listen to it faster so you could get through it. Look at me and what's the book? Where is it? Where's that one that I'm reading, that I've been reading for 6 months now? I'll read like one chapter a month, and I'm like, oh, I gotta finish that other book for the book club, and then I get off of it, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta go back to that book. I want to read it so bad. I love it. I think it's great. But it's just like,
it's dense.
It's so overwhelming right now that I'm just like,
it's intimidating.
Yeah, that's the word.
So
bored.
I can't listen to Brandon Sanderson probably any more than like 1.4 or 1.5. This was definitely not complex. It was not something that you could definitely listen to this at a higher speed.
You didn't like it. I get it. What'd you give it? What'd you give Blood Hair?
I gave it a 2. It wasn't that great. I will never continue on. There's like freaking 3 books now or something, and like I just don't care. I'll probably donate this book, to be honest.
Oh dang! But Meek, it's
a special
so
edition.
Fancy. Look at that. You paid extra for that. You said, "Look, it's so cool. It has blood on the sides. Look, we gotta buy this. It's so special and great."
I didn't buy that special. It came in a book box.
It came in a book box. And how much you pay for that book box?
A lot.
Okay. And guess what? What else did you get in that book box that you're keeping? Okay, just for giggles, right here. Just say it to my lobe. Say it to my lobe.
I don't know. Nothing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anywho.
Thank you.
Tops and bottoms of the year. Let's see. Let's look at my book board. Obviously, and I say obviously because it is my only star book for the year, that is Project Hail Mary. So without a doubt, Project Hail Mary
I got it too, dude.
is my favorite book of the year.
Well, I'm not going to start with telling you my favorite. You always save that for last. Have you ever watched the YouTube video? Like the number one is always last. But that was one of my favorites. So actually, I'm going to start with my bottoms. I just have 2 DNFs for this year. I have way less books. I counted. I read 30 books and I have 32. So 30. So the 2 down here.
Your goal was 30.
Yeah, I did it, dude. I did it. Give me 5s.
I'm sick.
No! Why'd you touch me? No, I'm sick. Let me touch you either way.
I'm not sick.
God. So, what's this?
I got a little congestion.
She Who Became the Sun.
Yeah.
It's interesting because she dresses up as a boy and becomes a son.
Why
Get it?
did I give that a 3? I need to like
Dude, because you're
my
crazy sometimes. I tell you, you got to always judge it based off of the other books for the year.
Yeah.
Anyway, Leviathan Wakes, I also didn't finish. This one, I gave it a dead DNF. That means it's sideways, as you can tell there. That means I really didn't like it. I really, really didn't like it. But anyway, all right. So now let's get to the actual ones that I finished, right? My 2 lowest. Which one of them I share with you? Okay.
Rebel of the Sands.
Rebel of the Sands and Deadly Education. Deadly Education was way too hyped.
That was so disappointing, man, because like the other book I read by her, I really liked.
Yeah, it was way too hyped and it was super predictable and didn't make sense. Like there was a lot of character decisions that they made that to me just like
in the world they just don't explain anything except like oh this is a thing, and it's like, but why, how, like I don't understand.
If you had a unicorn, would you sell your unicorn? No.
That's Rebel of the Sands.
Oh,
You're getting books mixed up.
You're right. Rebel of the Sand, though. If you had a unicorn, would you sell it? That one? Yeah, no, that you're right. Because it's funny. I said Deadly Education, then I instantly started thinking of Rebel of the Sand. But yeah, Deadly Education. It was like if you went to, you know how confusing Hogwarts is, right? Yeah. Like it's already confusing. Now imagine if the book told you nothing about Hogwarts. They just went, okay, yeah. They didn't tell you that the stairs moved. They didn't tell you that they needed a password to get into their thing. They didn't tell you any of that. They were just like, they just did it, and you were just like, wait a minute, what? And then also like, it's so weird. And the logic. Okay, so one of the this may be a spoiler, but can you imagine if you were young and in school? No, I can't imagine. It was too long ago.
No teachers. And they were just like, oh, here's your assignment, even though there's no teachers. So how do they know what their assignments are? And they're like, I have this assignment. Oh, I have to work so hard to finish it. If I was in school, I'd be like,
the magic system.
There's no teacher. There's no stakes. I'm not finishing this
magic
assignment.
System also didn't make sense. Like the way magic worked and like where they drew their power from. Even though Harry Potter, again, whenever it's a magic system, we always got to go back to Harry Potter because it doesn't really have a magic system. It's kind of very like open and free, but it's enough that there's enough there to understand.
They try to explain some stuff.
Yeah, but it's definitely not a magic system thing. It's not a Brandon Sanderson book where magic systems make sense and there's cost to everything that they do and all of that. And then the same thing with the Rebel of the Sand.
So
like
those are 2 of my bottom ones also.
Yeah.
Beware the Night was another one, and A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I apologize if you like that book, but it was not for me.
So I didn't read that one, but I read Black Sun. It was dumb. It was overhyped. It was just dumb. I didn't like it either. The character, there was one good character in it, and I don't really remember the pirate lady. She was cool.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them just kind of sucked. So that's it. I would say that those are my bottoms.
So my
like here on a honorable mention. Under the Whispering Door, I gave it a 2. Okay, I only gave it a 2 because 1, it deceived me. I did not know it was a love story. I wouldn't even have read it if I knew it was like strict. It was pretty much 90% a love story and 10% other things. I really liked the 10% of the other stuff. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was written badly. It had a lot of things that I liked. No, it had about 10% of things that I liked. And it was written well. It was good. It just like, it was deceiving. And if you like the other books that I like, and you kind of agree with me on most of them, then I feel like this is not the type of book for you. Because at the end of the day, it was a love story, and that's
like
really all it was.
That's not really an unpopular opinion about that book. Like a lot of people like this author's other books better.
All right. I mean, like I said, it wasn't written badly. It had some weird stuff in it that I don't think that it made sense. I think character development was too fast. And I'm also not sure how long the span of the time from the beginning of the book to the end was. It's kind of vague.
Which book? I forgot.
Under the Whispering Door, the one that we were talking about.
A month and a half or something, or like 2 months throughout the.
Was it, or was it 2 weeks? Because I feel like
that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Touche.
All right, so I guess honorable mentions for me. Horror Store was one that I liked. I was expecting it to be better because of the other, or was it Grady Hendrix books? I really liked the Final Girl Support Group. He Who Fights Monsters. I want to continue to reading that, even though I gave it a 4. I would say that's it for my honorable mentions. Honorable hates, Empire the Vampire. That was an honorable hate.
3.
Yeah, because it was like a book. It definitely wasn't worth how much we paid for it. I know that much. See, she has nothing to say. Speechless. All right, what are some of your honorable mentions or honorable hates?
I didn't even go over my hates yet.
I thought you did.
No, I DNF'd The Goblin Emperor.
Well, first of all, you started with your favorite book. That was the problem.
True.
You shouldn't have started with your favorite book.
The Goblin Emperor, super crazy boring, really political, didn't care. The Wolf and the Whale, written well, but it was boring, and I couldn't get over the fact that like at points you were in the mind of the wolf, and like they talk way too much detail about like eating animals and junk, and it really grossed me out. I'm a vegetarian. He eats meat a lot.
You're not a vegetarian for the fact that you don't want to kill animals.
Yeah, but
that's
still,
not why you're a
still
vegetarian.
Grosses me out. I don't like meat. Girl A, boring. I didn't care. I couldn't care less what was happening in that book. Pirate Wars was a book like
textbook.
Yeah, basically, but it wasn't written in an interesting manner, and I felt like they kept saying the same thing over and over and over. Boring. Enchante. I'm really sad about this one because
wait, is this the
not Les Mis retelling?
The not Les Mis retelling that you thought it was?
Yeah, the book cover is gorgeous, and I'll keep the book cover just because it's gorgeous.
But only the book cover. She's gonna rip the inside out.
We talked about these. 1 star, Rebel of the Sands. I found it very unmemorable. I don't remember much about it.
There was a girl. There was she was a gunslinger.
Oh yeah.
There was magic, but the magic was stupid. There were genies. If the genie said something like it was a fact, it would happen.
Yeah,
so if they said like, John died, John would die. It was like, this is stupid.
1.5s. We have Beware the Night. Just boring. The beginning was good actually, but then it just got very stereotypical and boring. Deadly Education. We already talked about what's wrong with that book. Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I also give that a 1.5. I know a lot of people like that book. I love diversity in books, but when I feel like you are just putting it there for the sake of being diverse, it takes away the genuine nature of it. Like, I don't know. I felt that that's how this was written. It literally just went like character, how they're diverse, little bit of backstory, new character, how they're diverse, little bit of backstory. Like that's all this book was. There was no plot to it. This is not a ghost story. It was a 2-star. I basically just found it pretty boring throughout the whole thing, and the ending was interesting. So, Blood Air, we just talked about. That was a 2-star. I had some 2.5s. Really, the ones that stick out is Black Sun. I just expected more out of that book. People talked about it being this epic fantasy, and it was so good, and blah, blah, blah. And then it just was boring to me. I don't know. Night Film, I was really disappointed in that book. I also gave that a 2.5. I expected more out of that book, again, based on hype. So that kind of sucks.
Why did you give Under the Whispering Door a 4?
Because I liked the characters and like the story, but I do feel that at some points it was too much of like.
Okay, so why'd you give it a 4?
I enjoyed it. I didn't dislike my time reading it. Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I really did enjoy it as a story, but
What'd you give it?
I
Where is
expected
it?
more. I gave it a 3.
Okay.
I expected more out of it, and probably because I liked Strange the Dreamer so much. Curse So Dark and Lonely was a 3, but I expected way more out of that based on people's reviews. Other honorable mentions. I mean, the Final Girl support group was good. You liked it more than me, but it was still a good story. Kill Creek was a fun time up until the end.
I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah, me too.
I could definitely see Horror Store becoming a TV show.
Yeah.
It definitely has like a TV show vibe to it.
Or a movie.
I think a TV show would be better.
Paperbacks from Hell from Grady Hendrix, I actually really liked, but you have to go into it knowing that it's not like a storybook. Really liked Sunreach from Brandon Sanderson, so I guess these are my honorable mentions I'm talking about. I really enjoyed that series, like the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's like a romance fantasy series. I really enjoyed that this year. We read the 3 of them, the first 3, as buddy reads in the Patreon or Discord Patreon. Tomie and Uzumaki. So I discovered Junji Ito this year, and I really liked those books. I started reading The Witcher this year and really enjoyed. I read 2. I must have started it last year, actually. Then, so I read up to book 3.
All right, let's talk about our 5s and stars now. So, which ones do we agree on?
Carry On.
Yeah, so Carry On,
Wayward Son.
the first of that trilogy. You gave both of them, Carry On and Wayward Son, a 5. I gave Carry On a 5 and Wayward Son a star, which is above a 5, if you guys don't know. I really liked the second one, and the main reason that I like the second one is because Carry On was more of a... It was like if you met the Harry Potter characters on their final year and they were graduating, and then there was this epic adventure. So it kind of took away that like, oh, this is a new story that I'm entering with the characters. I'm learning this as I go with the characters. It's like, no, they already have their background set up. They have all these cool things that happened to them in the past, and I wish I knew those things. I wish I was there for that story, which I get it. They didn't want to do the same thing, kids are getting to school. Let's tell the story from the beginning. You do learn about the past, but you do miss out on a lot of like the fun things. I still gave it a 5. I loved it. I thought it was great. And then Wayward Son was nice because it was I kind of felt like more of, I was joining them when they were starting a story, right? When they were starting a new adventure, and it was like from the beginning. So I enjoyed that whole thing more. But then the third book, I gave a 2.5. So just so you guys know, I really didn't like the third book.
I gave the third book a 4. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you're terrible. You're a terrible person. So it's okay. You can enjoy it if you want. I just didn't like it. There was a lot to it that I didn't like. I feel like a lot of the characters went backwards, and I don't think it was as epic as the first or second. So it was like, I feel like it was like hey, we got to write a third one because we set all this stuff up and there's a third one now. But I feel like it still wasn't enough. And there could be more if you think about it. Like a lot of the stuff from the second one wasn't resolved. So anyway, I digress. The Fourth Secret. That's the 4th book in, I don't know what the thing is called. AFK's. Is it the 4th book or the 3rd book?
4th.
It is the 4th, right? Because it's the 4th secret. I really like those books, man. They're super epic. You haven't gotten past the first one, man. They're super fun. It's a lit RPG, and it's just like super epic. And I love. There's so many ideas there that I'm like, man, I want to use that in D&D so bad. I want it. I want to do it in D&D. And it's really good. I recommend that series a lot. What do you got? Oh yeah, we were comparing them. The other one is My Calamity Jane that we both gave 5s. We already explained why we like the Jane books, the Janey books.
I finished Oathbringer this year and I gave it a 5.
I'll probably give it a 5 too. Right now, I'm a third of the way through it, and I would say it's a 5. And usually his books tend to
Be up there.
just continue to get, they're at least 4s usually.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think I've ever rated any of his books less than a 4.
No.
And that's only because it was maybe like, Elantris.
Elantris is like my favorite of all time.
I know. It's like my least favorite of all time.
I don't get it.
No,
like,
wait. The color one was my least favorite.
Yeah,
the one with the
Warbreaker.
color magic. That was my least
I don't get why
favorite.
everyone hates on Elantris. It's so good.
All right. I also read Dark Matter, which you read last year, and you were like, so there was a month where I was just like, I'm going to read all the books that she wants me to read real bad, but I'm not going to tell her. If you guys go back, you'll see that. Dark Matter, and then My Best Friend's Exorcism. Those are really good books. Dark Matter could make such a cool TV show or movie. And then Andrew Rowe, I'm still in that series. He has his Arcane Ascension series. That's that one, right? Arcane Ascension? Yeah. And that is the 3rd book in the Arcane Ascension. And that's going good. It's just more of the same. I still love them. They're just more fun. Okay. Which ones did you read that I didn't read?
So I gave Sword of Destiny, the Witcher one.
Wow.
5 stars.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I really liked that one.
I'm in a purse right now.
So is that the 4th book? I'm so confused of where I am in the Witcher series.
Dude, I don't know, man.
But Shadow the Conqueror was a 5-star for me.
Shadow the Conqueror was a star. 5-star. Wait, what?
I gave it 5 stars.
You gave it a 5.
Yeah.
Not 5 stars. That would be crazy, dude. That would involve you reading it 5 years in a row and you giving it a star every year. I gave it a star. It's actually right there.
I did not expect to like this book purely because I hated the cover so much. I think I complained about the cover for 2 months.
I know. You're crazy. I read it and I loved it. It's by Shad Brooks, which he is a pretty big YouTuber that does like a lot of medieval stuff and talk about swords. He does some stuff where like he talks about like the Witcher swords and the Witcher combat and stuff like that. And he's very knowledgeable when it comes to that stuff. And you can tell by the like I got Brandon Sanderson vibes from this book for sure. Like I definitely feel like the magic system was really cool and interesting. And I can totally see that he was inspired by Brandon. It's weird to call him Brandon.
Thinking that. I do remember though that I expected less. I went into it with low expectations and I really ended up enjoying it a lot. And they talk about some hard things. And also he's not a great person. And I don't usually like morally gray characters or bad characters, but
the main character, yeah. Shad's a good guy.
No, yeah. Like I find it hard when your main character is kind of like a bad person. And he was bad and now he's kind of like grown and he talks about how he's grown. So I really liked that in that book. So I really, really enjoyed that book. Me
too.
I think that's it.
Wait, no, I have the Reborn Apocalypse series that I'm reading. I think I've read 3. This is 1 and 3? 1, 2? No, that's 2. I can't read the tiny writing. Look at how small that is. So I think I read 1 last year. And then this year I read 2 and 3. I gave them stars. They're just more of the same. I think I gave the first one a star. It's a great series. It's a JRPG, a lit RPG, and in like the best way. There is humans get pulled into this basically alternate universe. Some humans, it's random and it's like in waves. So you get like the first wave, humans just disappear, and then a couple months later, some more humans disappear.
Now that I think of it, it's kind of like an Alice in Borderlands type deal.
Kinda, but yeah. But it's like we don't know, right? It's like some weird magic stuff, and then you get put into this world. You get like skill points that you get to spend, and you get to buy some. You have a big book that you get to pull skills from, and then the story starts. There's some interesting stuff that happens at the very beginning, which makes the whole story more complex and a little bit different. It's there's kind of like a save point at some point, and it's really good. It's really good. And then my favorite book of all time for this year, all time, the time of 2021, was
Leviathan.
That's the most recent book in my head. What is it called again? Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
It's weird because Project is written very tiny, and then Hail Mary is big. So Project Hail Mary, great. I think they're making a movie.
They are. I think they're gonna F it up.
I really hope they don't. It's a simple enough story that they can tell. It's contained, and if they do it right, they can tell the story perfectly.
I'm honestly
and just cut out some of the fluff that I love.
Very proud of booktubers for not spoiling the main thing in this book yet.
Yeah.
I have never heard anyone talk about the main thing in this book.
Yeah, it's really good.
You really should go into it not knowing anything.
Yeah.
Besides the very most basic part of the plot.
Yeah, yeah. It's like if you knew that Tony Stark gets like brought back to life in the new Spider-Man movie, you probably wouldn't want to go watch it. So it's like, you know, Robert Downey Jr.'s back, baby.
So yeah, I have nothing bad to say about that book. I laughed, I cried, like literally. I was so in love with that book.
It was a great book. I think it's a lot of people's favorite book. And I think Goodreads, it was the best book of the year or whatever.
It was at least the best sci-fi.
Oh, okay. I think it was the best book.
I think they don't have like an overall best book. They just do it in sections or genre.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's the best book that I read this year. And I feel like I read a lot more fantasy than sci-fi. Sci-fi is my second favorite genre. Fantasy is my first favorite.
Yeah, we definitely read more fantasy.
I could have just said favorite, not my first favorite. Stupid. That's it. Go read Project Hail Mary. If you're going to read one book in 2022,
we recommend that one.
I didn't know if I was saying the right year for a second there. I literally had to look over at the date. We
even, for our new book boards, changed the back a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And replaced one of the books with Project Hail Mary.
Speaking of which, we have...
Oops, sorry. Go again.
Speaking of which, we have 5 boards... I can't say it without. All right. Speaking of which, we have 5 new boards. Every time I say it, these are the new book boards, and they're nice because they got the little thing. You could put them up on the shelf. They got our suggestions on the back still, and is Leviathan Project. Why?
Why?
All right, ready?
We did put Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. It's right in the middle there.
Yeah.
So it is on there, all our favorites. Whenever we have like books that we really, really like, we put them on there. And you can see here all the spots for your things. There's a little bit less space for these because you're probably not going to be reading a ton of 1s and 1.5s. If you are, you're doing it wrong. Okay? Just DNF it. If there's that many, just stop. You'll know. So once you fill these up, you're like, okay, I guess I'll stop reading it and just start putting it in here. That's the rules, okay? Follow the rules, please. Don't break them.
So we literally don't have very many of these to sell, so we are going to be offering them to patrons first.
Yep.
On our Discord. So
and then whatever's left over will be just put up on the shop for everybody else. But we only made 5. They take a very long time to make. And it takes a lot of our time from making videos, and lately we've been trying to make a lot of videos, or more videos, 2 a week at least, and that's the goal for 2022 is to put out 2 videos minimum a week, and we did it all December, so that's been good. So what I did, I'm not gonna say we, because you didn't freaking help me with this, was I painted ours. So this is Meekachii. It says Meekachii little right there. So I painted them up a little bit. I'm not doing this for any of the ones that you guys get. If you want to paint it yourself, you feel free. It's very difficult. Got the back painted and the insides also painted. But that did gold. I don't know. I'm not even a big fan of gold, but I just thought it looks good for letters. Mine's a little different because I painted mine with just paint. Hers I used gold leaf on it just to try it out, but it was way harder with the gold leaf. So then when I did mine, I don't even know
how you did it.
When I did mine, I did it differently. So so these are our new book boards, and I can't say bored anymore.
What about like I'm bored?
I'm bored.
Oh, no.
It's funny every time. Oh God. Oh, I need my board.
We need to now get a bird.
No.
You name it birds.
I had birds growing up. I had
if you love birds, I'm
parakeets.
sorry, but like they're nasty to me. Like they have like feather dust and they poop wherever they want and like ugh, I can't do it. I think they're really cool if I look at them and like hang out with them.
They're beautiful.
But to own them.
Yeah. Brazil has some beautiful birds.
Yeah.
They also have some beautiful boards.
And broads.
No, that's disgusting. Every place has beautiful broads. So yeah, so if you guys want to pick one of these up and you're a patron, let us know. Like I said, we have 5. So first come, first serve on Patreon first. If we don't get 5 on there, then we'll put them up on the thing. If there's enough interest, maybe we'll make a few more. But they take us literal hours to make one. Like, and it takes, we only have,
based on like time and materials, it's almost impossible to put them up for like a cheap
we
price.
also don't make a profit.
No, we
on,
don't
on these at all. We literally just make them for you guys so you guys could join us with the thing. So there's no way for us to make these in a large scale.
Yeah.
And you know, make any
Continue.
money off of
Yeah.
them. So we definitely don't. And you know, they're not cheap, and we only charge you guys that because it takes us so long to do it, and it kind of sucks. And I don't know. I don't even know if these are easier than the other ones that I made last year's, the regular, the ones with the thing, because this takes a while to do. And that's why I originally made it with 3 only, because I was like, oh, this will save us some time. And then I was just like, no, it looks better with the full seam on the side. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I wish I could just like have them
Pay
printed
someone
or
to do
something.
it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great 2021.
You mean 2022?
No, I mean 2021.
You had a great.
No, I mean 2021 because I don't want them to have a good 2022.
Well, that's weird.
Just kidding. We'll see you guys in the next video, right? You guys, hopefully you had a good new year and all that stuff. You watched the ball drop or whatever. If you put an S at the end of that, it makes it really weird.
Dude.
So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let us know what your favorite book was and your least favorite book. You can only choose one. Leave it down in the comment, and
What is
then
our least favorite?
maybe we'll tally it up. That would be fun.
Ooh, yeah.
We could tally up what everybody, like just in the comments, what everybody's favorite was and everybody's least favorite, and we'll see which one wins. What was my favorite?
I'm trying to figure out my least favorite.
Okay, so books that I actually finished.
Oh, Rebel of the Sand.
Rebel of the Sand. No, I think I disliked Deadly Education more. But okay, I'll agree with you because we both had them on there, so we both agree on that. So I'd say for us, Rebel of the Sand was the least favorite, and Project Hail Mary, basically just based on our boards. I can't say that word. It didn't even fully come out.
What we're talking about? We're talking about the guy from what?
Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2.
That says bird.
Whiplash, I think his name was Whiplash.
Yeah.
He's like, I need my board.
And they're like, what? Your what?
My board.
My
board. Anyway, okay, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let us know what your favorite thing was. You want to give them a word too?
Ooh.
Quick.
Glue.
Glue. I think we've done that one, but all right.
Wait, no, then we'll choose glue stick.
That just made it harder.
You're welcome, T.
All right. See you guys in the next video. Say bye, Meek.
Bye, me.
Bye.